So yes, students, here so we yes, students, in the last module, I want to do revision some of the topics because this is a very important module, students. Because here in this, we are going to learn the most important concepts, that is quality, process, capture and replay, and scaffolding, test case specification, mutation analysis. So these things we are going to study in this module, and here at the first I'll start from the last topic. So that is yes, students, here we have learned the organization, project planning and project teamwork of a project. Whatever the project we do, students, it may be a commercial project, it may be a simple project, or it may be a complex project. A report is very much important. Correct? No? Correct, now, students. A report is very much important. If you do a seminar, if you do a seminar, for seminar only, we ask you to submit the report. What that report contains, the work which you have done to represent that seminar. So to explain, to present the seminar, whatever the actions, whatever the steps you followed. So the it may contains a literature survey, it may contains the details of the topic, it may contains the procedure. If you are explaining about any tools and technology, then how to install the tool, how to work with the tool, and how to implement the tool, like that. Those information will be there in the document. So if you take seminar, or if you take any project, or whatever the work you take, for any work, the documentation is very much important. Correct, now, students? The documentation is very much important, and for documentation, predefined rules will be there, a standard format will be there, a standard content will be there. We have to follow that standard format, and in that format, whatever the list out contents will be there, everything whichever is related to your project, everything we have to include in the project. Yes, students, following now? Students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So here, in a small project also, in a small project with a sufficient small set of document is needed, that we have to arrange based on the standard format. First, the introduction of the project. First, you prepared a report for your mini project. What is the format you followed, student? What is the format you followed? Anybody can tell? So when you submit any report, the first front sheet will be there. So the front sheet will tell that what this report contains. It contains the organization name, correct, Alva? Organization name, and the title of the project, and who has executed or developed the project. Title and who has developed the project. And the next page is the acknowledgement page. Whoever has helped you to execute this project, so we are going to thank in that acknowledgement page. And next may be the content page. Next is a content page, and next the introduction, then the detailed document. Correct, no? Detailed document. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We follow the format. We follow this format. Can I put first content page, then acknowledgement, then organize, then this front covering page? Is it okay, students? Anyway, the details is available in the report, no? Anyway, the content is available, acknowledgement available, the cover page is also available. Whichever format, I instead of following 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I will arrange 2, 3, 1, 4 5 ಈ ತರ ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾ? If anybody asks me why you have done like this, whatever the form, whatever the way of arrangement, anyway the details is available, can I tell like that? Yes, students, can I tell like that? No, I cannot tell like that. Whatever the standard format is given for the documentation, we have to follow that. It may be a larger project, it may be a smaller project, we have to follow the standard format. And the consistency is very much important, students. If you develop any project, if you develop if you create any report, the report may be containing 10 to 20 pages. It depends on the project. If it is a larger project, even the report also will be large. If you submit, if you see the 6 semester project report, it will be bigger or larger compared to your mini project report. So the title which we are using, the title, font size, font family, whatever you are using, for titles, it should be same in your complete document. The content which we are going to write in all the pages, no, the font size, font family, the spacing, everything should be consistently, you have to follow. In one page, the font family is Calibri. In the next page, the in one page the font is Calibri. In the next page, the font is Times New Roman. Then in the next page, something Arial. Like that, we should not do, students. So we have to follow the consistency. If you are following Times New Roman, then in all the pages, the font should be font style should be of Times New Roman only. If you are taking the content size as 11, then in all the pages it should be 11 only. If you are taking 12, then in all the pages it should be 12 only. We should not deviate. We should follow the same consistency. We have to follow. In a small project with a sufficient small set of documents, the arrangement of other project artifacts, for example, requirement and design document together with the standard content. For example, the mapping of the subsystem with subsystem test suites to be built, schedule, provides sufficient organization to navigate through the collection of test and analysis document. So in the document should contain the sufficient information about the requirement, design documents, and the scheduling. Scheduling means 1 or 2 months is time given for me to complete the project. 15 days I'll take for development. Next 15 days I'll take for testing. Like that, how much time I am taking, everything should be written in the document. Then mapping from one system. If you take table, employee ID is primary key in one table, that primary key I'm using as a reference key in the other table. So everything, wherever we are mapping the content, everything should be available in the document. In a larger project, it is common to practice. So it's the same thing we have to follow in the larger project also. Yes, if the rules and regulations are not different from a smaller project to the larger project, in all the project we have to follow the same rules. The strategy document. The strategy document indicates common quality requirement process. Product requirements may depend on the business condition. So if you are doing any commercial project, if it is related to government project, if you are developing a project for Karnataka government, then the rules and regulations will be different. Correct, no? If you are developing a project for any private school or private education organization, then the rules and regulations will be different. So everything should be available in the document, and all the safety measures should be taken. For example, a company that produces a safety critical software may need to satisfy minimum dependability requirement defined by the certification authority, while a department that designs software embedded in hardware product may need to ensure the portability across the product lines. So means whatever the product you are developing, whatever the software you are developing, the dependabilities and the safety measures, everything should be available, and we have to take a certification authority. So like this, we have to develop a project. If, for example, we are from IBM company, so we are giving training on rational rows tool. So software design lab. In software design lab, we are going to use this rational rows. If I go to IBM, then if I do training there, then the authorized certificate should be given by the organization to me. So they cannot give any other organization certificate, or they cannot simply just on the paper they cannot sign and they cannot give. So proper certificate should be given to the customers. The test and analysis report. So whatever the test and whatever the analysis we are doing, students, for everything, the report should be there in the details should be there in the report. If while doing some test, we may do some fail. We cannot say all the test will in all the tests we will get a pass result. In some test cases we may get a failed result also. So whatever, whether you are getting pass result or we are getting failed result in document, so we have to maintain everything in the document. So reports and test and analysis results serve both developer and tester designer. They identify open faults for developers and aid in the scheduling fixes and revisions. See, nobody is perfect. Even the developer will do mistake, and even the test engineer will do mistake. If a developer has done some mistake while testing, the test engineer will come to know whatever the developer has done the mistake. They have to tell them, and they should try to do. They should try to fix the whatever the mistakes they have done, and the revision of the work they have to do, because whatever the work they have done previously, it has some errors. So once the test engineer will check, they cross verify the project or software, then they'll come to know this particular functionality is not working properly. It is taking an invalid input or it is giving an invalid output. So whatever may be the problem which we are facing, so we should give a proper justification and uh, proper correction should be given by the developer. A prioritized list of open faults in the core of an effective fault handling and repair procedure. If you take a larger project, then if the developer and the test engineer, if they have done many mistakes, then the priority is given for each fault. Which is most important, that fault should be solved first. Which is less important, that fault should be solved later. So like that. So based on the situation, based on the priority, the fault will be solved. The failure report must be consolidated and categorized so that the repair effort can be managed systematically rather than jumping erratically from problem to problem and wasting time on duplicating report. So whatever, as I told, in a project, any application or project or software when we develop, so we may not say we develop a error-free project. So definitely some or the other, the minor errors will be there. So once we rectify the error, we have to make a report of that error. So simply we should not ignore, and we should not go to the next topics. Let it be a small mistake, no, why we should do a big hangama for that small error. We should not ignore like that. Whatever the error we are getting, we have, yes, we have to follow the priority list. So based on the priority, only we should try to debug the error. And when we debug the error, we have to make a list of whatever the faults are there in the project. So we have to because in the report, if we maintain everything in the report, then any new user come and check the report, then easily he'll understand that if he wants to enhance a project, then he will come to know what mistakes the previous team members have done, what are the drawbacks that are there in the project, they will understand. And here, students, the mutation is important. What is mutation? The mutation is nothing but the changes in the project. Mutation is nothing but the changes in the project. That mutation should be maybe accepted or rejected. When it will be accepted and when it will be rejected, students? Yes? If you don't answer, then I'll ask one by one. Yes, Pavan, what is mutation? Pavan. Pavan, what is mutation? Pavan, can you hear me? Pavan? Kishore, what is mutation? Maithili? Maithili, what is mutation?
Hello, ma'am.
What is mutation? Tell ma.
Ma'am, like writing the structure. Ma'am, there will be one. Ma'am, I'll tell example. Okay.
Tell.
If we write one program, like same thing we'll be writing in other form. Like meaning will be same.
Arjun, what is mutation? Arjun.
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, designing new software, ma'am, basically it makes designing of new software tests and checking the quality of existing software tests.
And
Yeah, ma'am, it detects the test cases, ma'am, and if it find anything, then it rejects the mutants, ma'am.
Murli? Murli, what is mutation? Murli is there. Sunil? Sunil? Sunil, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಪ್ಪ? Can you hear me, Sunil?
Yes, ma'am.
What is mutation?
Ma'am, little network issue, ma'am.
ಹೇಳಪ್ಪ ಇವಾಗ ಹೇಳು. What is mutation? Gudia? Yes, students, if I do revision, nobody is responding from next class onwards. What I do is I will give you one scenario. For that scenario, you have to tell me what are the test cases you can implement. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಈ ತರ ನಾನು ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿ ಐ ಶುಡ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಟಾಕ್ ಯು ಪೀಪಲ್ ನೆವರ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್. So I'll give you a scenario from next class onwards. So for that scenario, whatever the possible test cases you can write, you have to tell me. See, students, in my PPT clearly I have mentioned that mutation is nothing but the variation. See, I have developed a project. A simple example I take. When I was explaining this also, I took a simple examples and I explained. Andre avage nimge artha agilva en kate? So I'll take to find whether the given year is leap year or not. So what is the formula? Year mod 4 is equal to 0. Aita, this is the formula. So if I give 2000, then the given year will be leap year. Alva? Yes, student, the given year, if I divide this year by 4, then the given year is leap year because the remainder will be 0. If I take 1900, okay? If I take 1900, divide this 1900 by 4, remainder will be 0. According to this logic, the given year is leap year, but 1900 is not a leap year. 1900 is not a leap year. So what I do here is, this is my original code. I will enhance the code. I will enhance the code. Yes, somewhere here when I was explaining, I think I have written. See, down I have written this. See, first what I have done, first I have divided the year by 4. Then what I have done the changes, I will divide the year by 100 and 400. In these three conditions, for these three conditions, if the remainder is equal to 0, only then I can say the remainder, the given year is leap year. So this changes I am implementing in my program, students. So initially year was divided only by 4. Then after I without any error, I have get the output. So I have taken the input year as 2000, and for that I got the output remainder 0, and the given year is leap year. And for the input year 1900, according to the logic, it is showing the given year is leap year, but it is not a leap year. So there I have to change the program. That implementing changes in the program is nothing but mutation. Yes, see, each variant is called mutant. Variant means changes. If the change is here, see here what changes I am implementing, I am dividing the year by 400 and 100. If this implementation changes the behavior of the program, if this changes the behavior of the program, then that behavior should not change the output of the program. That behavior should not change the output of the program. If that behavior is changing the output of the program, then this mutation will be rejected. Eshton example kotti helide nanu. If this behavior is not changing the output, then this mutation will be accepted. Aita? So this is mutation. Yenu nenpila. So, okay. Gudia, can you hear me, Gudia? Gudia, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Now tell me, what is mutation with an example. The students will solve the question papers. See, this is the question paper 2000 CBCS scheme 2016-17 MCF 16-17 scheme.
Screen share ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ.
ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಅದೇ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಒಬ್ರು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. Your students, can you see? ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಪೇಪರ್?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Tell me the answer for the first question. Define the term software testing. Write in detail about testing and debugging process. So what is software testing? So software, you have to write the definition for software testing, and you have to write the process about in detail about testing and debugging process. Yes, what the answer? Students, can you all write the answer for this question 1A? Anybody have doubt? respond no, at least say yes, no, no ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. yes ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಹುಡುಗರು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ, so that I can go to next question. Yes, anybody have doubt in this answer?
No, ma'am.
Okay. What is static testing? ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಇದು. ಯಾರು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ರಶ್ಮಿ ಹೇಳಮ್ಮ. Static dynamic first module. What is static testing? What are the methodologies / techniques / process you use in static testing? PPT open ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇವಾಗ.
Ma'am.
PPT open ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾ?
ಬೇಡ ma'am.
ಹೇಳಮ್ಮ.
Static testing is a software testing technique, ma'am. Which is used to check the defects in software applications. Without the execute code. Static testing is just like in the verification stage, ma'am.
ಈ PPT ನೋಡಿ, ಈ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ನೋಡಿ.
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡ್ದೆ ನಾನು.
ನೋಡ್ದ್ಯಾ?
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವೆರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಓಕೆ, ವೆರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ತೊಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ವೈ ವಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಟು ವೆರಿಫೈ.
ಎಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್.
ಡೈನಾಮಿಕ್
Okay, yes, students, all of you see the answer. So this is in short, so you have to elaborate this. So these are the techniques, procedures which we use for static testing. Structure, how the maintainability, testability, code, everything we are going to check. Second question, 2A. What are the 6 principles that characterize various approaches and techniques for analysis and testing? What are the six approaches? Anybody? What are the 6 approaches, students? Six principles. Anybody? Yes, students, any answer? 6 principles that characterize various approaches and techniques for analysis and testing. Arjun?
Yes, ma'am.
In answer, appa.
Like complete testing is not possible, and testing is creative and difficult. Testing is risk-based. Testing must be planned. Testing requires independence. Testing is to prevent errors.
Noda. Anybody else? Any other answers? Any other answers, students? Any other answers?
No, ma'am.
Means whatever Arjun told, that is right answer.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'll come back to that answer later. Next question, 2B. What do you mean by testing adequacy criteria and comparing criteria? Explain about test specification. Yes, what is the answer, students? What do you mean by testing adequacy criteria? And comparing criteria. NPDI ಇದೆಲ್ಲ topics. Yes, students, do you remember these topics? ಹೋಗ್ಲಿ ನೆನಪಾದ್ರೂ ಇದೆಯಾ ಯಾವತ್ತು ಒಂದಿನ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಈ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ? Students, adequacy criteria ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿ? Yes, students? Anybody? See, the adequacy criteria is nothing but the predicted true or false condition. So before testing only, we'll be knowing that whether I'll get the test case true or false. So test adequacy criteria is expressed in the form of rules and regulations. So when we develop any program or when we develop any project, so we set some rules and regulations. So using this adequacy criteria, we set the rules and regulations. And comparing criteria is nothing but, so we compare the fields. So we compare the fields and we write the test cases. So second, module 2, write a short note on testing life cycle with a suitable diagram. Distinguish between functional testing and structural testing. Testing life cycle, that waterfall model cycle. So this is testing life cycle, students. So this you can also say this as a V model diagram or V model diagram. So you have to explain that diagram, draw and explain the diagram, and distinguish functional testing and structural testing. Functional testing and structural testing. The testing is testing is divided into two categories, mainly two categories, that is functional testing and structural testing. Functional testing is also known as black box testing. And in functional testing, here and this is a structural testing. The structural testing is also known as clear box testing, white box testing, glass box testing, path driven testing. Eshton names say that. Don't get confused with the structural testing, students. With next 3B, with a neat diagram, explain about level of testing. Write a short note on test case. Level of testing. Hey students, what answer you will write for level of testing? What answer you will write for level of testing?
Unit testing, integration testing, system testing, acceptance testing.
Unit testing.
System testing, acceptance testing,
Hmm.
integration testing.
Anybody? Any other answer? Yes, see students, in your test also you have written the same. Many of you, for, when I took the first internals, in the first internals also many of you have written this integration testing, like acceptance testing. When it is not there in the syllabus, how can you write? It is there in third module, third and fourth module. Okay, fine. In first and second module, we don't have about that. So this you have to write for level of testing. This diagram you have to explain. This V model you have to explain. Those are all types of testing. The next fourth question is explain in detail about triangle problem and commission problem. I think no need to tell the answer again. This triangle problem, commission problem has repeated in two modules. More than many times we have seen this example. A triangle problem. Yes, students. Once again, I want to clarify in triangle problem. In triangle problem, here we are not going to find the area of a triangle. Here we just want to know whether the given triangle is isosceles, scale-in, or equilateral triangle, or it is not triangle or not. Here we are not bothering about the area of a triangle, whether the given triangle is equilateral, scale-in, or isosceles, or it is not a triangle. So based on the condition, we are going to find that. See here we are not going to bother about the area of a triangle. Yes, when I was explaining this first time, I told we have to use the formula to find the given triangle, to find the area of a given triangle. No, here we are not bothering about the area. Here, when we say triangle, then it should be having three sides. Correct, no? When I say triangle, it should have three sides. So we have to find that if all the three sides are equal, then it is a equilateral. If any side, if two sides are equal, then it is isosceles. If none of the sides are equal, then it is a scale-in. Or if it is not, if it is having only two sides, then it is not a triangle. If it is having four sides, then it is not a triangle. So this you have to explain. And the commission problem. Commission problem. See, the commission problem. There we have taken the example: a salesperson or a owner who is manufacturing a locks, stocks, and barrel, and the cost of locks is $45, stocks is $30, and barrels is $25. So based on this, you have to explain the concept. So this, so that answer you have to write. And then a 4B question is illustrate on errors, faults, and taxonomies. So the definitions you have to write. Yes, students, this question is for 8 marks. Just you don't write the definition, take some example, and based on the example take the scenario, and based on the scenario you have to explain errors and faults. Error and fault you need to explain. And module 3, what do you mean by boundary value analysis? Explain robust worst case boundary value testing with neat diagram. Yes, students, for boundary value we have a graphs. So with the help of a graph you need to explain the boundary value. Next, what are the different forms of equivalence class testing? Equivalence class testing, explain each of them with suitable pictorial representation. Yes, in equivalence class also we have a diagram. So with the diagram, with the pictorial representation, you have to write the answer for these questions. Next, explain the decision table based testing with an example. Generate decision table for triangle problem. Yes, you have to write a decision table for the triangle problem, and you have to explain. Illustrate a special value testing as well as random testing and generate testing case for commission problem. So you know what is a special value, what is random testing and generate testing. So that based on commission problem you have to illustrate. Module 4, what do you mean by test coverage matrix? Explain all types of matrix based testing with suitable examples. So we have a diagram, we have a table, so based on the table we have to explain this. Describe the McCabe's basis path method with an example. How do you maintain the minimal essential complexity? Explain with a suitable example. So that based on the path, DD path, you have to explain this. Eighth question, discuss about the traditional view of testing level with neat diagram. Explain about any one alternative life cycle model with suitable diagram. So traditional view diagram, so you have to explain with a neat diagram you need to explain. And the sixth B question is distinguish between integration testing and system testing. So this is for 6 marks. So integration testing and system testing you have to differentiate. The fifth module, the ninth question is what do you mean? What is meant by fault-based testing? Mention few assumptions in fault-based testing. Explain about fault-based adequacy criteria. So this you have to explain. And define test oracles. How do you implement self-check as oracle? Illustrate how capture and reply methodology will help in testing. And the last 10th question is describe any 5 major activities in planning and monitoring the process. How do you generate test and analysis report? List and explain about all the major category of document. Describe standard organization of a plan and standard organization of a document. Yes, students, this is the 2017. This question paper is December 2019, January 2020 question paper. So anybody don't know answer for any of the question here? Other question ke answer gottilva? If you have any doubt, you can ask students. ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಾರ್ದು. Yes, students, this is a question paper. In this question paper, if you have any doubt in any of the answers, if you have doubt, then we'll explain. I'll explain now. ಏನು ಡೌಟೇ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ದ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಾ ಇವಾಗ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ? Yes, students, no doubt. Vaishnavi?
Yes, ma'am.
Vaishnavi, can you tell me the answer for 6B. 6B. ಏನು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರಿಬೇಕು ಹೇಳಮ್ಮ? ಏನಿದೆ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ನೋಡು. ಇಲಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಟೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಫಾರ್ commission problem. So what is special value testing? Yes, students, in third module we have what is robust testing, worst case testing, special value testing. So here we have learned what is special value, what is worst case testing, and what is robust testing. So here in the question paper this time he has asked question that you have to write a test case for commission problem. See, once you understood how to write the test case for special value and random testing and generate test case, so you should be able to answer for whatever the scenario they ask. They may ask you next time, they may ask you write a special value test case for triangle problem. See, if you know the basic definition of special value, random test and test generate, then you can write a test case for any of the scenario which they give in the question paper. The special value, so I gave the example, no, VTO exam example. Generally the three hours will be given for all the students. If any student is handicapped or any special case, any critical case students will be there, then for them extra time will be given. So that is a special case. So that type of special case, when you are implementing in your software, then we have to write the test case for the special case also. So how you implement the special case testing? Worst case. See, worst case, this diagram, it shows so this is a boundary, this is a lower boundary, this is the upper boundary. If the value is above the upper boundary, then it is above the, so it is not coming in the range. It is not coming in the range. So that you can say as a worst case testing. Vaishnavi, understood? Vaishnavi?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, students, answer for your attendance. Asta? Asta? Abhinav? Aishwarya?
Present, ma'am.
Amrish? Hello?
Present, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Amrish. Arbaz? Is Nayana and Kishore, you want to tell anything? Another Rebecca, you raised your hand.
By mistake,
Okay. I thought you want to ask something. Arjun?
Present, ma'am.
Ashok?
Present, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
Bhargavi?
Benita, present, ma'am.
Okay. Benita?
Present, ma'am.
Bhargavi? Bhavisha?
Present, ma'am.
Chaitra?
Present, ma'am.
Dev?
Present, ma'am.
Diksha?
Present, ma'am.
Deepika L?
Present, ma'am.
Deepika M.
Present, ma'am.
Last class absent Deepika. 17th. Before fest.
No, ma'am.
Didyama.
Yes, ma'am. First.
Before fest.
Yes, ma'am.
Before fest 17th.
Yes, ma'am. I was there.
Okay. Murli. Murli. Gangubai.
Present, ma'am.
Gudia.
Present, ma'am.
Harshit.
Present, ma'am.
Gudia, you did not answer for my question. Junjar. Junjar. Kavya.
Present, ma'am.
Kishore. Lata.
Present, ma'am. Kishore.
Lata. Manisha. Nayana.
Present, ma'am.
Manjunath.
Yes, ma'am.
Neelanjan.
Yes, ma'am.
Nishant. Pavitra.
Present, ma'am.
Maithili.
Present, ma'am.
Priyanka. Pavan.
Present, ma'am.
When I asked you a question that time, why you didn't reply? Why you didn't answer? Akash.
Present, ma'am.
Rajeshwari.
Present, ma'am.
Rakesh.
Present, ma'am.
Ramya.
Present, ma'am.
Rashmi.
Present, ma'am.
Ravishankar.
Present, ma'am.
Ravishankar. Rizwan.
Present, ma'am.
Vishal.
Present, ma'am.
Savita.
Yes, ma'am.
Shruti.
Present, ma'am.
Sneha. Sneha. Absent. Spurti. Srinidhi. Srinidhi. Srinivas.
Present, ma'am.
Sunil. Vaishnavi. Vinny.
Present, ma'am.
Ma'am, Sunil present, ma'am.
ಯಾರು ಹಾ ಸುನಿಲ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ
Sunil, ma'am.
ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ. Yes, students, I'll stop here, and from next class onwards, this type of revision, I think it will not work out because nobody will open their mouth. So I'll give you some scenarios. So for that scenario, you have to each and every students, I'll ask you what are the test cases you will write. So for that, you have to answer for that. Okay, students, I'll stop here. See you in the next class.